agreements, etc., right? So what happens is when we read Shakespeare, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Jordan Peterson, what that does is, because I love Shakespeare, that means what happens is that I already have a construct or a partial understanding of what Shakespeare is speaking about. So what happens when we read and use the dictionary, you got to use the dictionary. It's absolutely essential to use a dictionary. Excuse me. Tea, warm, hot, with butter in it. My favorite drink, besides beer. So when we read, or when we grab any book that we grab, anything we do, I mean, the relationships, the reading, we already have within our mind and come on. A bridge. We already have it, but it's not complete. The bridge is broken. All right? So what happens is we will read Shakespeare, Ralph Waldo Emerson, or whatever books we're reading, right? And whatever constructs, developments, alignments, agreements, understandings, the character developments, what's going on, the hero, the villain, the girl, the love interest, etc., 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 these are all partially already in us. That's why we're attracted to that book. That's why we're attracted to the dictionary. Because it explains what the word means. That experience is an abstract experience. It's abstract. That's an abstract experience. In order for us to complete bridge the gap in our mind, we automatically or inherently are attracted to material that bridges that gap between our conscious and our sub or unconscious mind to develop greater value, and more valid agreements. It makes us a more powerful individual. Another abstraction. The earth is our imagination. We created it. Should I shock you? Should I hold it back for my next video? There might be some repeats in the videos, but bear with me on that. Thank you very much ahead of time. The earth is love. I'll be careful what I say here. I don't want to shock you too much. It's abstract and it's love. All right? Stay with that. That means, and what was created first? Man, people, or vegetation? Vegetation was. Because the earth was formless and devoid of form. All right? There was chaos upon the face of the earth. It was gas, twirling, just twirling, spinning fast, right? And it centrifuged into a hot molten ball, and then began to cool down and became an evolution of a life inhabiting planet in our solar system. All of that is abstract. So the air in this abstraction of chaos was not breathable. It wasn't breathable. So little by little forms of vegetation started growing on the earth, right? And the vegetation, what it breathed? It breathed carbon dioxide, CO2. Yeah, oxygen is O. Yeah, CO2. Carbon dioxide. And as the vegetation began to become more plentiful on the earth, what did it do? It consumed part of the carbon dioxide and other elements in the air and pushed the atmosphere up off of the earth. More vegetation and more vegetation and more vegetation, more vegetation. The vegetation pushes all of that chaos, all that dirty air, all that, not dirty air, well, it is dirty air because there's oxygen in the midst of it, but it pushed it all up. That's where we have the atmospheres, right? It's all because of the vegetation. It's abstract. So, when you go out and look at any kind of, like the lawn, your grass, a weed, a tree, a bush, a shrub, any of those things, go look at it. I mean, it's abstract. The whole entire plant is abstract. It's alive. It's a living entity. It is alive. And what does it do? There's more of an intimate relationship between us, mankind, womankind, mankind, and the vegetation. Why? Because each plant has its own DNA and RNA. Right? Each plant has its own DNA, has its own RNA. Alright? And they have their consciousness. Their consciousness, alright? And what's one of the most beautiful things about plants? They never complain, and they do what their inborn DNA and RNA tells them to do. What is that? They grow, they follow the sunlight. You'll see a plant dance. If you're able to put a slow motion camera on any plant, including trees, depending on the time of year, right? And you watch the sun, the plant will dance to the sun. It will follow the sun. And in the meantime, all of this garbage we're breathing out, right? Not only do we sweat, we defecate, we urinate, we sweat, we breathe out exhaust. We breathe out exhaust. There's combustion going on inside our system. People, we're amazing. What evolution has done for us as people is utterly amazing. I mean, our bodies are precise. They're beautiful. I mean, you're a chemical institution in a fashion, because you can take in any kind of food, herbs, is nutrition. All because of vegetation. It breathes in our garbage and it breathes out life for us. The DNA and RNA in each plant, that's why I love it in summertime when the air is thick with all that life. Oh, the air is so thick with life. I just love it. It's like taking a celery plant, cracking it open, put your nose in there and just smell the fragrance. It's just life. It's so wonderful. You take cabbage or lettuce or a rose or apple and break it open and just take in that aroma. I mean, oh my goodness. You know, it's funny. I used to smoke weed all the time. Part of my autism, right? It was stupid. I quit smoking weed a long time ago. I'm done with it. We're so delusional and illusional anyway, we don't need any more help. And drugs and any kind of that alcohol, you know, you gotta be careful with it because it just makes life more delusional. It's fun when you're in the right company and whatever, but unless your head is on straight, because of intelligence, you know, anyway, so I just quit smoking it. But the first time I did it, I was stoned, and you know, just really, you know, I was laid down pretty good, right? I'm making some food, and here's this lettuce, and so I popped the lettuce open, and that smells good. And so I just buried my face right in the middle of lettuce. Oh my! And I stayed there for like 5 or 6, 8, 9, 10 minutes. It was like just beautiful. It was so wonderful, and I didn't really notice it. But at the time, it was a wave went over me. So the vegetation that we have on this planet is abstract, and it gives life. It gives life. The aroma of it, the beauty of it, what it does for us is it gives life. Look at, what does a cat do when a cat's got an upset stomach? What does a dog do when a dog has an upset stomach? The first thing it does, it goes over to the lawn, the grass, and it eats it, right? And that chlorophyll inside that grass calms the animal's stomach down and puts it back into a pH neutral state or condition, right? So the abstract is beautiful. And no, I'll save that. How powerful is 2 times 2 is 4? How powerful is it, right? What do we do with 2 times 2 is 4? Well, it's the most creative. I erased the board now. Oh my God. 2 times 2 is 4. It's creation. Creativity. When 2 times 2 is 4, what do? We build. And with this is emotional content. Also, abstract. With emotional content, what do? We sing. We build a house. Factories. Finance. And what are all these? They're all equations. And all this is 2 times 2 equals 4. All of it. All of it. I'll go back to my goal and I'll sum this up really quick. I have a goal, and my goal is to create as many as possible, but I'll just start with the number 100. All right? 100 people. I want to develop a team. I have a system that uses numbers and letters in a specific fashion that is abstract, concrete, and absolute. Well, we know, yeah, you remember all that, right? And bridges the gap. The assumed gap. Because just think about it for a second, right? Let's say that you have a visualization. You want a car. You want a vehicle, car, truck, whatever you want, whatever, right? And so you're visualizing, psychological orgasm, right? You're visualizing this car and you're visualizing this vehicle and oh my God, visualizing a girl or a guy or whatever you want, Oh yeah, wonderful. Oh yeah. Remember, whenever when you assume or visualize, you gotta have emotional content. You have to. I'm gonna answer the phone. Beg my pardon. And then, when that manifestation actually arrives, guess what happens? That's not what I asked for. What's this? Because sometimes it may be, but I'm going to say most likely it probably isn't. All right? Why is that? Do I still have that stuff up? Why that happens is because developed through coming here with and I'll say that for another video. Coming here with predisposed. I'll say that word. Probably the wrong word, but it gives off some kind of impression of what I'm trying to say. Preconceived constructs, beliefs, alignments, agreements, and understanding, right? The more we apply this, we have a tool that'll change all of it. Change it all. Instantaneously. Boom. Boom. Whatever visualization, assumption, or goal we have, assume. Remember, the consciousness now is full I'll be careful here, but it's full of ends within the context or complex of our ego, which create patterns of behavior and